Hey everyone, Effie here. Today we are collaborating with Chibitronics to bring you a really fun blog hop. So we are going to be playing with the Chibitronics Starter Pack, and this is how you're going to get the starter pack if you order it. It's super cute. It's a really fun product and a really cool idea to bring to your card making. If you guys are unfamiliar with Chibitronics, this starter kit will allow you to bring the light up aspect to your card making, which I think is really cool. So this is how you're going to get your starter kit. You can just slide the cover right off, and then when you open up the box, there's this really cool activity that you can do right on the cover of the box. You just hack the box with lights, and you're going to learn how to do it once you go through the sketchbook or the activity book. But it comes with this set. It comes with different lights, 2 batteries, and 2 alligator clips, which you're going to need to complete the different activities in your sketchbook. And it also comes with a roll of foil tape, which you'll need. And they give you a pretty generous amount of foil tape. The roll that you see here is half used because I've used most of the foil tape to do all the activities in this sketchbook. Now, the sketchbook is really great because if you're unfamiliar with Chibitronics and how it works, it's not a problem because they give you everything you need to know in this book. They give you an explanation of how the science behind this works, and they give you an explanation of the different things that you can do with the kit. So don't be intimidated. Just go through all the activities that they give you in the activity book, and in no time you're going to figure out how the whole thing works. The book is going to give you instructions on how to create different kinds of circuits. And the one that I chose for my card today is one of the more involved ones. I chose to do a blinking slide switch template. You're going to go through all of the circuit templates that the book provides to you, and I did have to work up to the blinking slide switch template, but I swear it wasn't hard and it was a lot of fun. So I already put down the foil tape because I did this exercise before, but I just wanted to show you guys how the switch template looks like. So I put down the LED light, and the most important thing about playing with the starter kit is matching up all the negatives and positives of your light, foil tape, and battery. So now I'm just going to flip over my switch, and as I slide my finger over the switches, the light is going to blink. Then you can flip the page, and you're going to see an application of what you can do with this kit. So if you see what happens when the penguin slides across a page, it's going to light up the card. So that's just another idea that you can apply to your card making. All right, now let's get started with our card. I'm starting out with our Panda Can't Even set, and I'm using that adorable panda with the outstretched arms, and I'm just going to stamp it onto my card panel with our Noir Dye Ink. Then I'm going to take the Craft Like a Boss sentiment from our Like a Boss set, and I'm going to gold heat emboss it right on my panel. Then I'm going to take the small burst from our Sparklers Alpha set, and I'm going to stamp it near my panda's outstretched arms. After this, I'm going to gold heat emboss the bursts, and then I'm going to stamp the sticks for the sparklers so that it looks like the panda's holding onto the sparklers. And I'm stamping the sticks in our warm hazelnut ink. Next, I'm going to take the Stunna shades from our scheduled stamp set. It's our planner set, and the size of these shades are absolutely perfect for our critters. So I stamped them in our hot tourmaline, and then I fussy cut it out. Next, I'm going to stamp all the bursts just along my sentiment. I'm going to use the different size bursts that come within our Sparklers Alpha set, and I'm going to stamp them in our Noir Dye Ink, warm hazelnut ink, and some in Versamark ink so that I can gold heat emboss them. Once I finish with the bursts, I'm going to blend some minty dye ink at the top and bottom of my panel, and I'm just using some Clarity stencil brushes to blend some lofty mint onto my panel. Now, these brushes are really great for ink blending. I picked mine up at So Susie Stamps. Really fast shipping, great products. So after I finish blending on some dye ink, I'm going to take those Stunna shades that I cut earlier, and I'm just going to adhere them right over our panda. Then I'm going to take my scissors and poke small holes in the middle of my sparklers that my panda is holding, and this is where it's going to light up. Now I have a side folding A2 size card base, and I also have a piece of scrap paper. It's just some regular printer paper, and I'm adhering this onto my card base, and this is where I'm going to be putting down my circuit. I'm adhering the entire thing down with the exception of that top right hand corner. That flap is going to be holding down my battery. I'm just placing the battery here, and then I'm going to take a pencil and just draw a circle where the battery is going to lay, and I'm just marking the positive and negative portion of where the battery is going to be. Now I've positioned my stamp panel over my card base, and I'm just going to take a pencil and mark where the two holes are, because this is where my lights are going to be. I've marked the negative and positive portion of where the battery will lay. That just means that when the batteries face up, the positive portion is on the top and the negative portion is on the bottom. Now I'm laying down strips of the foil tape that's going to come out from the negative portion or negative side of the battery. And I'm making a continuous negative strip for both my lights. I'm making sure to leave a gap between the negative and positive strips, because this is where I'm going to put down my LED lights. So these next two strips that I'm putting down are going to be for the positive side of the battery. I will be putting down a third positive strip of foil tape, and that's going to come out directly from that top right hand corner circle with that positive sign, and this is where my switch is going to be. So now I'm going to lay down that third positive strip that I mentioned earlier, and I'm going to make sure that it comes underneath those two negative strips, but you don't want these two to touch, because the switches are going to go behind my stamped panel, and the switches, when they touch the positive and negative strips, it's going to end up lighting up the LED lights. Next, I'm going to adhere down the LED lights. The pointy side of the lights are the negative side, and the flat side of the LED light is the positive. So you want to make sure you line up or match up all the positives and negatives. Next, I'm just putting down some adhesive around my battery so that top flap, when it closes, it'll totally enclose the battery and just hold it in place. Next, I'm going to draw in two marks where my switches are going to be with a pencil, and then I'm going to go over those marks with a gel pen, and then I'm going to take my stamp panel and just kind of put some firm pressure along those spots so that I know where my switches are going to go. This is where I'm going to lay down two strips of the foil tape, and these are my switches. The switches are going to connect the positive and negative portions of the circuit, and when you slide your finger between the two switches, it's going to create this really cool blinking effect. Once I was sure that my circuit was working, I actually went back and I applied some more adhesive around my battery for that top flap, because I didn't want the battery to fall out. Next, I'm going to apply some adhesive at the top portion and the two sides of my stamp panel. I'm not going to put any adhesive on the bottom portion of my panel, because I want to make sure that the two switches are not totally on the circuit, because if that was the case, it would drain the battery. And I only want the switches to touch the circuit when you apply pressure. And the card is now complete. I had so much fun working with the Chibitronics Starter Kit. It's a really, really cool product, and it just brings a different element to card making, and I just thought it was really cool. And I want to thank Patricia for giving us the opportunity to work with these products, and also make sure you hop along the other stops on our collaboration blog hop with the rest of our team members, because they have some really cool projects lined up for you using the Chibitronics Starter Kit. Thank you all for stopping by, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye!